You're listening to the Murder Speaks podcast, the show that spills the tea about true crime. Here's your host, Wendy Hinbest.
Hey, welcome back. So today's real crime story is about 40-year-old Rachel Anderson from Clarkson, Washington. Rachel has been married 4 times and separated from her 4th husband. She lived with her 2 young sons until she went missing Monday, April 19th, 2010. Her daughter Amber received a message that her mother did not show up for work. And Amber says that her mother was being harassed. Her tires were slashed. She received strange text messages and phone calls.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Leave a message is not available.
I just had to call back because I want you to know I don't owe you anything. I don't feel guilty about it, but I don't owe you anything. It's only a matter of time before we get your cell phone number, and then we'll have fun texting again. All right, bye.
The caller disguised their voice, and they were watching her. They knew what she was doing. The caller would tell her when her lights were off. She would sleep on the couch because she couldn't hear anything upstairs and she was too afraid. When she went missing, Amber and her sister Ashley called the police. They went to Rachel's house, but were too afraid to go inside because they didn't want to find her dead. When Detective Nichols gets there, she goes inside the house, but there was no evidence of foul play. A few hours after her daughters reported her missing, the police tracked her phone to an area in Lewiston, to an open field in the middle of nowhere. They formed a search party to try and find her, but they didn't. Her phone stopped pinging, and her car was missing. The police talked to friends and neighbors, and they find out about a guy named Charles Capone, Rachel's ex-husband. 3 months after they were married, they separated, and now she's missing. They arrest him on a gun charge, and he goes to jail. He tells police that he was fixing her car for her, and she told him about how she's being harassed. He tells her he's being harassed too. The police ask him the last time he saw Rachel, and he tells police it was April 16th because she was there to pick up her car. Rachel went there to exchange cars. He was fixing her car. She left in a white GMC Yukon. 5 days after she went missing, her car was found. On April 21st, 2010, 5 days after she went missing, her car was found. Her purse was found in the car, and the car was found abandoned 30 miles away at a convenience store, which is also a bus station. Now, there was blood in the car. The police take a DNA sample. The police find a cell phone a few miles away from that convenience store. It belonged to a guy named Paul Winklebeck. He was a wanted man, accused of kidnapping and assaulting many women. But there was no evidence that he had anything to do with Rachel's disappearance. Police tracked down a man named William Flynn. Rachel was convinced that he was the one stalking her. They conducted an interview with him, but it was apparent that he wasn't involved, so he was cleared. Police interviewed David Stone. He was a friend of Charles Capone. He volunteered with the fire department, and he confirmed Capone's story because he was there. He said after Rachel left, he and Capone went to the bar, but the video surveillance showed that they were never there. Now the police are more suspicious. The police got a search warrant to search Capone's shop, but they didn't find anything. The DNA results came back, and Capone's and Rachel's DNA were found in the car. Police found out that Capone has a violent past. In May 2013, Charles Capone tells people in jail how he killed people. He would put the body on a tarp and cut them up, then dissolve the body parts in a car parts washer in his shop. Then he would bury the body so deep that nobody would find it. Capone was the one behind the phone calls and the stalking. The police talked to David. The police were preparing for trial. He is sentenced to 3 to 7 years. On the stand, he tells police what happened the night Rachel went missing.
As I came around closer toward the backside of Rachel's car, Charles was on top of Rachel, strangling her.
This is the area that back on April 16th, 2010, that we disposed of a package that we had in the back of my Durango. I drove here from Charles Capone's shop at approximately 10:30 or 11 p.m. that evening. And we're approaching the area that we're in right now. And this is where, as I was driving, Charles told me to stop. I stopped, he jumped out, I got out. I got around to the back of the car. He already had the back of the car opened up. He was pulling the package out, and I assisted him, and we proceeded to the side of the tram wall there and threw the package over the side.
What was in the package?
The body of Rachel Anderson.
Charles Capone strangled her, and David Stone helped him get rid of the body. They dumped her body in the Snake River over the Red Wolf Crossing Bridge. Capone is sentenced to life in prison without parole. Rachel was filing for a divorce from Charles, and they still haven't found her body. He made her feel like he was there for her. He just lured her in so she would trust him enough, and then he can kill her. Well, thanks so much for joining us on this week's Real Crime Story. If you like it, please share it and subscribe. And if you are a true crime addict like me, check out my store, crystalkiss.com, for some murder merch. I sell t-shirts, hoodies, and leggings. Check out my YouTube channel, where I talk about more real crime stories. I also have another podcast called A Girl Who Craves Her Faves, where I recap all the drama in my favorite reality shows, so check it out. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening. Bye.